Hello, this is Jessica Weifel. In this video, I will be showing you how to make the Strength Snowflake. You can find the written pattern for free on my blog or as part of the Snowfall 2025 Contemplations ebook that is available in my Ravelry and Etsy shops. I recommend having the pattern open alongside this video so that you can refer to both at the same time. I will be using US crochet terms in this video. For this pattern, I recommend using a 1.5 millimeter crochet hook. I'm using my great-grandmother's hook here, and Siepia's Maxi Sweet Treats or Maxi Sugar Rush, which is a size 10 cotton thread. However, so that you can see what I'm doing better, I will be using Siepia's Cotton 8 in this video. Please excuse my lumpy ball of yarn here. Cotton 8 is usually much smoother, but I must have frogged this yarn at some point in the past. To get started with this snowflake, we're going to start with a magic ring, and I like to make this a double magic ring by wrapping my yarn around my two fingers twice instead of once. Then we're going to insert our hook into our ring, yarn over hook, and pull up a loop. To begin round 1, we will chain 1, and this will just kind of lock our magic ring into place. And then into the magic ring, we're going to make a single crochet and chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And this will count as our first treble crochet. Then we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and make a treble crochet into the magic ring. And we will do this 11 times. So that's once, twice, Alright, so I've completed that 11 times. So before I tighten up my magic ring and join the end of the round, I'm going to double check. So you should have 12 treble crochets, including that first one that's actually a single crochet and 3 spaces. So I'm going to count up in groups of 3. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 groups of 3. 3 times 4 is 12. And so I know that I can tighten my magic circle. So for a double magic circle, for a double magic ring, instead of just pulling the end, you start by pulling the end just a little bit to find out which ring is going to start to close. Then you can take that ring and pull it until the other ring fully closes. Once that ring is fully closed, you can pull this end until your other magic ring is nice and tightly closed. All right, so now to finish off the round, we are going to make a single crochet into the third chain of the first treble crochet, because if you remember, our first treble crochet is a single crochet and 1, 2, 3 chains. So we're going to make a single crochet into that chain. And the reason we do this is because we want to start in the middle of one of these chain spaces instead of on top of one of the treble crochets. This one will look a little bit funny right now because of the single crochet, but it will flatten out when we work on top of it, so don't worry about it. It should look good the next round. At the end of round 1, you should have 12 treble crochets and 12 two-chain spaces, including that one single crochet that's counting as a two-chain space at the end. Round 2. To begin round 2, we're going to start with a single crochet right around the post of this single crochet that counts as part of the chain space. So we'll go here, then into the next chain space we're going to make a single crochet, chain 3, and single crochet. Single crochet, chain 3, single crochet, all in that chain space. And that is our repeat. So we're going to do that 10 more times. 1, 2, 3, chain 1. I've done my repeat 10 more times, and I'm going to finish off the round by making a single crochet into the next chain space, and then chaining 1 and making a single crochet into our first single crochet, and this will count as the rest of our 3 chain space. Once again, this is going to look a little funny when you get started. We open this up a little bit, but when the snowflake is done, it'll blend right in. And all this does is, instead of ending up at the top of one of our single crochets, we end up at the top of our chain spaces. So at the end of this round, you should have 24 single crochets and 12 3 chain spaces. That last single crochet does count as part of the 3 chain space on top of the round. Round 3. So for round 3, we're going to start by making a single crochet around the post of the single crochet that counts as part of our chain space. So we're just going to reach right in there, make it right around that stitch, and then chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this counts as our first treble crochet and 3 chain space. Then we're going to make 2 more treble crochets around the same post. That's 1 and 2. Now we're going to begin the repeat. So into the next chain space, we're going to make 2 treble crochets. So that's not, we skip over these 2 single crochets and work into our next chain space here. So that's 1 treble crochet and 2 treble crochet. Then chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and in the same treble crochet, or into the same chain space, we're going to make 2 more treble crochets. So in that 3 chain space, we have 2 treble crochets, chain 3, 2 treble crochets. We're going to repeat that 10 more times, so 11 times in total. And I will do that off camera and come back to show you how to finish up the end of the round. So here I've repeated it 10 more times. And to finish off the round, I'm going to make 1 more treble crochet in the last chain space. This will be the same one as your first treble crochet is made into. And then we're going to slip stitch into the 3rd chain from the hook. So that's 1, 2, 3. And that is round 3 completed. So at the end of round 3, you should have 48 treble crochets and 12 3-chain spaces. Round 4. So for round 4, we're going to begin by making a 1 chain, and then we're going to make 1 single crochet in the next 3-chain space. Then we're going to chain 1, and this counts as our first double crochet. Now, starting the repeat, we're going to make 2 double crochets into the next chain space, or the same one that we just did. Then we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and make 3 more double crochets into that same chain space. So that's 1, 2, 3, then chain 1, and into the next chain space we're going to make 2 single crochets. So that's 1, 2, chain 2, 1, 2, and 2 more single crochets. So that's 1 and 2. Then we will chain 1 and make 1 double crochet into the next chain space. And then we're going to repeat this 5 more times. So that repeat goes 2 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, all in the same chain space. Then chain 1, make 2 single crochets, chain 2, 2 single crochets in the next chain space, chain 1, and 1 more double crochet in the next chain space. So what you'll end up with is 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets in one, and 2 chain 2, 2 single crochets in the other spaces. So I'm going to complete that all the way around and come back to finish up the end of the round for you. So here I am at the end of round 4. We've finished up most of the way to the end of the 5 more repeats. And we're just going to omit that last double crochet because we already have one that is our starting crochet. And we're going to join with a slip stitch to the first chain that is part of our first double crochet. And that is the end of round 4. So at the end of round 4, you should have 36 double crochets, 24 single crochets, and 24 2-chain spaces, and 24 1-chain spaces. Round 5. So to begin round 5, we're going to chain 1, and this counts as our first single crochet in this round. From there, we're going to begin our repeat. So we'll start by making a single crochet. We'll do that twice, so 2 single crochets, working into the next 2 stitches. And then working into the next 2-chain space, we're going to make a single crochet, then a half double crochet, then we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and slip stitch into the 3rd chain from the hook, forming a little peacoat. I like to do this in the back bump for a nice symmetrical look. Then continuing in that same chain space, we're going to make a half double crochet and another single crochet. Now we're going to make 3 single crochets, and those go into the next 3 stitches. So if you're ever wondering where a stitch goes in my pattern, if it doesn't say where it goes, it's always going to go into the next stitch of the previous round. All right, then we're going to make a single crochet into the 1-chain space, and then make 2 single crochets, and those go into the next 2 stitches, which are both single crochets. Then working into the next 2 chain space, we're going to make a single crochet, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and slip stitch into the 3rd chain from the hook to make a little peacoat. And then again in the 2 chain space, we're going to make a single crochet. You can kind of roll those peacoats if you want them nice and extra pointy. Then we're going to make 2 more single crochets. Again, they go in the next 2 stitches, which are also single crochets. We'll make a single crochet in the next 1 chain space. And then we're going to make a single crochet. And that's the full repeat. So from here, we'll continue on making 2 more single crochets and continue the repeat with our single crochet, half double crochet, little peacoat, half double, single, then single, single, single all the way around. So I'm going to go ahead and finish that up and come back to you to show you how to finish off this round. So here we are at the end of round 5. You just omit the very last single crochet because we've already got it. It is the chain here. And we're going to slip stitch into this 1 chain that is the first single crochet. This can be a little tricky to get into sometimes. And that is the end of round 5. So at the end of round 5, you should have 108 single crochets and 12 peacoats, little 3 chain bits at the top. Now if you'd like, you can actually end your snowflake right here. It'll look very similar to what it will after round 6, but I'm going to go on to round 6 just to finish it off. Round 6. So for round 6, we're going to make 6 slip stitches. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I forgot to mention, but we're going to do those in the back loop only. So instead of doing them in through both loops right here, we're going to go into just the back loop right there. And that'll be true of all the slip stitches throughout this round. Now this is the point, so we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and then we're going to continue and slip stitch 7. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that's the whole repeat. So we're going to repeat these 11 times, which is pretty much just slip stitch in the back loop only of every stitch all the way along, including all the chains, then chain 2 and continue going. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and come back to you to show you how to finish off the round. So here we are at the end of round 6. All we have to do is fasten off and sew in the ends. So I've slip stitched in the back loop only of every stitch and chain all the way around and put little 2 chain spaces on the ends. Like most of my snowflakes, this pattern really needs to be stiffened in order to hold its shape correctly. I have a video tutorial for my preferred method of stiffening that I will provide a link for here and in the video description. If you prefer, I also have a written tutorial on my blog. Once stiffened, the snowflake will look something like this. Thank you for crocheting along with me. If you found this video helpful, please leave a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can also comment below which of my other free snowflake patterns you would like a video tutorial for. Liking, commenting, and subscribing all help other people find this video and let me know that it's worth my time to make them.